So you're wanting to know how to run Facebook ads with a small budget. And in this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually be wildly profitable with Facebook ads despite having a very small budget. So a small budget is anywhere for me below $100 a day or $3,000 per month. And the thing is, we have hundreds of clients in many different niches that we have run ads for that have started with a small budget of underneath $100 a day. It is a myth that you need a massive budget to be successful with ads. You can get started with a small budget and still see progress and still see an ROI from your advertising spend. But what you need to do is get these 5 optimizations right with your ads so you can ensure that you are profitable. So let's dive right in. The first thing you need to do is keep your funnel simple. So a lot of people, they like to overcomplicate their funnel. They like to run webinar funnels, or even worse, do awareness campaigns with their ads. And this is a massive mistake. What you need to do is have a clear outcome that you are aiming to achieve with your ads. What I have found is if you have a high ticket business, that's going to be a sales call. If you have a low ticket business, that's going to be them purchasing a low ticket product from you. And then what you want to do is you want to design the funnel built around that objective as clearly as possible. So for example, if you're trying to get a sales call, well, your goal is going to be simply having your ads and getting them to go to a sales page, and then from that sales page, book a sales call. If you're running a low ticket product, well then from the ads, your goal and your objective is going to be getting them to buy the low ticket products. If you start doing something like live events, or you start doing awareness campaigns, the problem with that is that overcomplicates the process of your ads, because what you're doing is you're trying to get people to sign up to a live event, which can be really complicated and a lot of things that need to go right for that to work. Or you're doing some awareness campaigns, which is really stupid, because an awareness campaign is just getting your business out there. That's what a lot of people say. And there's no point in doing that because there's no ROI attached to it. If you spend $100 a day on just making people aware of your business, you will see no ROI. You are literally lighting money on fire. So the first important part is have a clear objective with your funnel and with your business so that you can set up your ads with that clear objective in mind. So for example, if you have a low ticket business, well, you're going to set up your ad set and your ads underneath the purchase event. So you're going to say that your goal is to get someone to purchase your low ticket product, and that's what's going to be sent back to your actual ads. If you're trying to get a sales call booked, well, you're going to optimize for a scheduled call, or just schedule, which means that every time someone schedules a call, it sends the data of that person who scheduled a call back to Facebook. And that allows Facebook to quickly optimize faster to go after your target market. So that is the first part. Have a clear funnel with a clear objective, which is going to allow clear conversion events to be sent back to Facebook so your ads can quickly optimize even with a low budget. Number 2 is going to be reduce messing with your ad account. So a lot of people make the mistake of going in and testing and changing loads of things in their ads every single day. That is a terrible mistake because you're just going to be stunting the growth, most likely, of your ads. So the first thing you need to understand is when it comes to campaigns, which a campaign is almost like a folder where all your ads are going to be contained under, is to have just one campaign. So a lot of people, they create all these different campaigns for their different ads. And every time you do that, you are essentially diluting the growth of your ads, because essentially you need to look at Facebook like a brain. And when you start running ads with a low budget, essentially Facebook is almost like basically an infant. It's a small baby. And what you're trying to do is you spend more money on ads, and your ads get more conversions, you get more people buying your products or booking a sales call, is that you are growing it into an adult. The problem is every time you have another campaign, or you're testing all these different things, or you're deleting campaigns, you're creating campaigns, you're essentially just completely killing that growth. You need your ads to evolve. You need to let evolution take its place. And every time creating new campaigns, you're deleting them, or you're just creating all these new ads, you're just stunting that growth. So at the beginning, with a small budget, you want to keep it as simple as possible. You just want to have one singular campaign. Underneath that campaign, you want to make sure you turn on this icon here, which essentially means that under your campaign is every single one of your ads for your business. And what you do is you set your designated budget, and then on that campaign level, it will just distribute spend to the different ad sets and the different ads in your business. Now, the reason that's a great thing is that usually the old way of doing it is you just have all your advertising budget attached to different ad sets, and you have to change the level of ad spend you actually want underneath different ad sets. But the problem is, I guarantee you, you will not know which ads are successful as well as Facebook knows. You need to allow Facebook to decide what are your winning ads, what should get the most budget, and what will get the most conversions, because you have to remember that Facebook wants you to be successful. Facebook wants you to make a lot of money, because what does that mean? Well, that activates the flywheel and means that you are going to spend spend more money on advertising, aka paying Facebook more money. So you're doing yourself and your business a disservice if you try and work against Facebook and try and change and optimize everything yourself. Instead, just let Facebook decide what are your winning ads. Actually, most of the time, like 10 to 20% of your ad creatives are actually gonna be your, like, get 80 to 90% of your spend because those are the winning ads. So Facebook will usually find those ads for you and then just spend the majority of your money to those ads because they're the winners and because they're gonna get you the best results. On top of that, within your ads, what you want to do is, likely when you're starting with a small budget, is you're going to have maybe 5, maybe 10 ad creatives that you're starting with. So then what you want to do is you want to put all of those ad creatives into a dynamic creative test. So what that means is that you can activate it just here on the ad set level up here. And then what that will do on the ad level just here, you can also put all your copy into that one singular ad. And what that will do is Facebook will compare and test all the different ad creatives and all the different ad copies combined and see what is the winning ad combination for your business. Now, when you put it in dynamic creative test, it allows Facebook to do that very fast. When you put that into all different separate ads, you have to figure out for yourself, oh, what are the winning ads, creative, and ad copy combinations? So don't do that. Put everything into a dynamic creative test and just let Facebook shuffle all the different ad creatives, all the different ad copies, and just find your winner really fast. I can't recommend using dynamic creative testing enough. It will save you a ton of time. It's going to get you conversions faster. It's going to help you find your winning ads faster so you can actually make progress much, much faster too. It will also help your ads get outside of the learning phase faster. So the learning phase is essentially when you launch your ads are in a learning phase, learning who is your target market, what are the conversions you're optimizing for, what is your winning ads. And when you do a dynamic creative test, is you essentially get out of that learning phase and find your winners much, much, much faster, which will build momentum with your ads and your ads will start performing better and faster. Number 3 is don't create custom audiences. So what everyone used to do is they used to go to here and actually type in their ideal customer audience. Big mistake nowadays because Facebook has fundamentally changed. The platform of how to run ads has changed. Back in the day, you used to, type in, I want to target lawyers in the United States, and you would get in front of those people. It's different now with updates like iOS 14 and Google updates, because what has changed is it's much harder to find those people because people aren't sharing their data as much as they used to be. So you have to rely on different sources in order to get in front of your target market faster. And the best source to do that is Facebook. So instead of just typing in your custom audience, where say I wanted to go after a lawyer in the United States, what would happen is Facebook's only going to target people who have their settings or optimize their accounts where they said they're a lawyer in the United States. Now, the problem with that is not everyone has set up their Facebook account like that who could potentially be in your target market. So instead what you want to do is you want to completely scrap this. You don't want to type in anything here. You want to just go broad with your ads and let Facebook, based on the messaging and what you're saying in your ads, find your target market. I promise you, going broad with your ads is one of the best things you can do because you just sit back and you allow Facebook to find your winning audience faster. And Facebook is so advanced, so smart, that it will find your winning target market fast. It will find the highest quality people in your target market really, really fast just by going broad. Now, what this means is the most important thing for finding your audience is really 2 things. You want to make sure that your ad creatives have the right copy and they're clearly calling out your target market and the messaging is clearly geared towards your audience, because then what that will allow is Facebook to search all its users and find people who are interested in that target market and target them based on, all their Google searches, everything like that. And also you want to turn on Advantage Plus Audience, because what that will allow Facebook to do is do this much quicker with, advanced ad technology. And I won't go too deep into this, but just turn this on at the beginning, especially when you're spending a small budget, and you'll be able to get in front of your target market faster. The way of getting in front of, audiences nowadays has changed. You used to have to do it all manually yourself, but now Facebook's algorithm is so advanced that it can just find those people for you just based on what you're saying in your advertising. So don't touch this. Leave the custom audiences empty. And all you need to do is just update the locations of what country you want to go after, whether it's the United States, UK, Canada, Australia, wherever it may be. I recommend those 4 countries to start with, most likely. And then also on top of that, use Advantage Plus Audience so you can get in front of those people you want much faster. Next is going to be niche down to your customer. So the way you do this is by understanding TAM, which is total accessible market, which is the total amount of revenue available in your market, but also how many people are there in your target market, in your industry. Now, what that tells you is how many people really are possible to target with your ads. Now, what I found is if you're starting with a small budget, you want to avoid going after any markets that have the amount of people of 10 million plus. The reason why is you're going way too wide. And the problem is you're going to get crushed by businesses with bigger budgets, who have more advertising spend, who can just crush you and go after this broader market. When you're starting with a small spend, you need a way of just really standing out. And the best way to stand out is niche down. But don't niche down too much. If you go after a TAM with less than 1 million people, the problem is then you've diluted the amount of people available. And what that means is that your ad costs are naturally just going to increase. Which, if you're spending less than $100 a day with a small ad budget, that's not going to be ideal because you're not going to get enough conversions to get out of the learning phase and really build some momentum with your ads. So the sweet spot is anywhere from 1 million people to sub 10 million. So 1 million to sub 10 million is the sweet spot. And what you can do is you can find out how many people are in your market by going to ChatGPT and, for example, typing in how many dental practices are there in the United States. And what that will do is that will throw up, okay, for example, there are 200,000 dental practices in the United States, which means that you know how big your TAM is and whether it's going to be too small, which means your costs are going to be too high, or there's going to be too many of these people, which means you might want to niche down on just a little bit so that you're not completely a commodity in the market and you're not going to get outcompeted with businesses with much bigger budgets than you. Now, number 5 is going to be swipe advertising winners. So what do I mean by that? Well, the thing is that when you start running ads, you do not want to fall into the trap of trying to test all the different ads yourself and find winning ads, especially with a small budget, because it's going to take an extremely long time to find your advertising winners. Every time you add new ads and new campaigns, new ad sets, new dynamic ad creatives, is that essentially what you're doing is you're just adding more components, which is going to stunt the growth of your ads. So you want to keep it really simple at the start using proven winners. You can actually copy what are already winners in your industry. The way you do that is by going to Facebook Ad Library. Then what you want to do is you want to type in any huge businesses in your industry that you know spend a lot of money on ads and are going after the type of target market you want to go after. What you can then do is you can actually type in their business on the Facebook Ad Library, and it will open up a library of all the active ads that they are running. It will tell you when they launched the ads, how long the ads have been running, if they are still live, and what that will tell you is which ads are really winners and which ones aren't. Because what you can do is you can go back and see if an ad's been running for 6 months, 1 year, or even over 1 year, and they're still running it to this day, well, that tells you is the ad is a winner, because obviously the business isn't going to spend loads of money on ads that aren't making them money. And then what you can do is you can swipe the winning ads and use it for your own business. So obviously don't copy the ads word for word, but you can take the structure and what they're saying in the ads for yourself. So instead of having to spend thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on testing ads like these big companies do, instead what you're doing is you are taking what has already been backed by thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising spend and using those winners for yourself. You don't have the budget to test everything yourself. So you've got to go to the top people in your industry and figure out what they're doing, what is working, and how you can replicate it for your business. That will massively shortcut the route to seeing success with your ads, even with a small budget. So those are the 5 ways to optimize your ads, even with a small budget, for success.